Prabhupada ki jai. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshitarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So all of you can see the screen. Welcome everybody, and today we'll be reading the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita course, and this is the first section and third subsection. Okay. This is very interesting section, so read it carefully, and there are questions. Yes, there are questions here. Only one question. We have to have more questions. Okay, we'll create more questions here. Okay. The topic is, does scientific knowledge make me humble? The solar system has been a great source of inspiration for early scientists in the modern context. The astronomical data recorded by Tycho Brahe led to the discovery of laws of planetary motion by Kepler. Subsequently, Newton's law of gravitation captures the essence of it, right? And Isaac Newton says, the most beautiful system of the sun, planets and comets could only proceed from the counsel and dominion of an intelligent and powerful being. He says that this beautiful solar system cannot manifest unless somebody who is very intelligent to design it and very powerful to actually implement it is there, right? This is not just a random occurrence of events. It is very well designed and very well planned system. And this Newton is able to say this because he has actually studied this, and he has experienced, or he has been able to appreciate that Vibhuti of Krishna, that strength of Krishna. Like in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, we read Vibhuti Yoga, how we can understand Krishna, or how we can appreciate Krishna, or how we can meditate upon Krishna, how can we see Krishna everywhere around us. And it's very important that we start seeing from our immediate surroundings, right? Otherwise we get into a problem called symbol grounding problem. Then all these terms, they don't make sense to us. And if we have experienced in our surroundings, then things make sense, right? We have experienced. But if I just explain something in a very abstract way, then nothing will make sense, and then people will be confused and they won't realize anything. But Newton is able to realize this because he has seen happening around him. So he says, so these scientific laws may not make much sense to ordinary populace. However, everybody can appreciate the fact that every object or planet in the solar system appears to be floating in space. For example, Earth is like a sphere and it is spinning around her axis. If you think deeply, you will realize that all of us are actually hanging, our heads being downwards and legs upwards. Everything is hanging under some force. Ocean water is hanging but not spilling out. This observation led Newton to coin the concept of gravitational force, by which the objects near the surface of the earth are drawn towards the earth. Irrespective of Newton's law of gravitation or Einstein's theory of space-time curvature, every great planet of this solar system has been perfectly situated from the time of creation. In this sense, God's law of gravitation still remains a mystery. Okay, so this paragraph explains or brings out this fact that this world is very complicated, that the solar system is very complicated, and the way planets are placed is very complicated, but there are intelligent people like Newton, Einstein, and many other astrophysicists who are trying to study this and who are trying to make some sense of this whole experience, which looks very complicated. And while they do this, they're trying to explain some aspect of the solar system. Like if you see Newton's laws, they explained many things very nicely, but many other things they could not explain. Einstein's theory of space-time curvature explains many things very nicely, but many things it cannot explain. So, but when these people, they go through this exercise of trying to make sense of the world around them, then they realize that how could this be just a random phenomenon? It is not just a random phenomenon, but this is there is a great powerful being, great intelligent being who is controlling and who is running the whole show. This realization comes in a very natural way to people who have studied something in that much depth, right? Superficially, somebody can say, "Oh, koi bhagwan nahi hota, sab kuch apne aap ho raha hai. Everything just came from Big Bang." But when you really study it, then you really doubt, "Oh, really? Is it like that?" Even Stephen Hawking, if he studies, he will doubt, "Oh, really? Big Bang makes any sense?" But some people accept it publicly, some don't accept publicly. Like Stephen Hawking might not have accepted it publicly, but internally he was feeling, "Oh, really? This is this is really very complicated, and how can this be just a Big Bang?" Right? Okay. Next, the solar system and the tiny existence. I would request you read this. The major point is that how tiny I am. This Earth is so huge, or the solar system is so huge, and out of that, Earth is very small, and my town Kanpur is very small. My city Kanpur is very small, and Kalyanpur is even smaller. IITK is still smaller, and one small apartment in that, and one small room in that, and even that is so big for me to clean. I have to spend 1 hour just to clean this small house. It is so difficult, and so this is my strength. So this gives me, this makes me humble, or this makes me at least this shakes me that, oh, what am I thinking of myself? And then there are so many other living entities like lizards, mosquitoes, insects, germs, corona. Hopefully not. They are occupying the space around us. So this is my identity, how small I am, right? So this brings a natural humility, and we start asking thought-provoking questions like this. So in this, we will discuss about humility earlier, and here Sir is giving very concrete examples how we can start developing humility. So these questions are, what is the purpose of this creation? So even if I break my head, I cannot answer this question on my own, right? So why is the solar system organized the way it is? I may explain, okay, Earth is attracting Moon with this much force, and I can quantify, I can do some calculations to compute the time periods of rotation and revolution, but I can never answer this question, why is it organized so precisely? And why so many varieties of life forms exist? Why does corona exist? Why do mosquitoes exist who are biting me? Why does corona exist who is troubling the whole world in this way? So these questions I can never answer on my own, and they always daunt me. They always are heavy on me. What is the purpose of my own existence? Like, what is my identity, right? So slowly, Sir is narrowing down to the very basic question, what is my identity? Identity crisis, what we discussed yesterday, and we discussed the example of Sanatana Goswami, who really understood that he does not understand the answer to this question, and he asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then Mahaprabhu then revealed to him what is his identity, what is the purpose of his being, and so on and so forth, right? So narrowing down to this original question, which is the most important question, who am I? Okay, so these questions will come in life if we are humble. Okay, actually one definition of humility which I heard from one very nice devotee is, so he puts in very simple words, what is humility? Humility means honesty. If you're just honest, and you will realize, I don't know answer to these questions, right? I don't know, but why am I doing something? If I'm studying in IIT Kanpur, why am I studying? I'm working so hard to get grades, but why am I doing it? Mostly we do it because of peer pressure. Others are doing, so I'm also doing. But I never ask, why am I doing it? What do I want to do with this? Or do I really do this, or do I do something else? So these are the questions which naturally will come if we are honest. That, oh, I don't know. And numerous such questions may arise, and when one starts contemplating, introspecting, questioning in this way, the search for truth begins. Human life is very precious. In this life, if we do not give importance to the nature of absolute truth, okay. Now, Sir is quickly coming to a very important point, that why should we search for truth, right? Why should we think so deep? Why should we think about purpose of creation? Why should we think about solar system being organized in a particular way? Why should I break my head at all on these questions, right? I can just do whatever comes to my plate. I just enjoy that, and that's it. And I live for whatever duration I live, and then I leave. That's it. So people say, just like other animals are not asking, animals are living a natural life. Why should I ask? Monkey is there. He is jumping from branch to branch. Whenever he feels hungry, he gets some fruits and he eats. And whenever he wants to sleep, he will just catch one branch and sleep on the branch. When he wants to pass, ease his stomach, then he'll just ease the stomach whenever he wants, and that's how he lives. Why should I break my head with these questions, right? So this brings us to the question, what is the speciality of human life? I heard actually these questions. So this section, what Sir is discussing, this is very universal. I mean, these kind of queries are very universal. People have thought across traditions, across countries, across not just spiritual traditions, but any thoughtful traditions like scientific traditions. They have contemplated on these questions in some way or the other. Like I was hearing one lecture by Professor David Deutsch. Who is Professor David Deutsch? He is the father of quantum computing. He is a professor in Oxford. While I was in Oxford, I was there in his talk. I attended one of his talks. So in one of his talks, he was mentioning this point. What is the difference between, so he was telling about Big Bang. He said, okay, Big Bang happened, so many universes got created, so many planets got created, so many asteroids and comets, they got created. And there are so many atoms and molecules all over the universe, like spread around. And then there is Earth on which we are living. So what is the speciality of this Earth? What is so special about life? What is so special about human life? So he asked this question in public, and he gave one answer. He said, okay, people may say there is no difference because this is all natural phenomenon, right? Naturally, stones are created, stars are created, and then pieces of stars, they create planets and stones and rocks in the whole universe. And similarly, we are also created. There is no difference. So they say, at some point of time, I was also a star because I was part of a star, and then that got separated and it got evolved, and it became a human being. So many people say like that. But then he gave the answer which he thinks was a very good answer, and I like that answer very much. He said, see, there are stars and there are human beings. But stars do not, or the rocks do not ask this question that what is the time period of rotation of Earth, why the Earth is moving around the sun, not leaving its orbit, how do galaxies behave, how do supernova explosion behaves, what are black holes, why the world is organized the way it is, what are radio waves and which give us information about stars which are light years away. What are those stars? What is happening in those stars? So what are the laws which are governing universally? Means not just this my planet, but the whole universe. Are there some laws which are governing are there some same laws which are governing all the universe or all the universes? Like, is it what laws are present here are also present in the other galaxies, in other planets, in other stars? So these are the kind of questions. He said rocks don't ask, human beings ask. So therefore there is a very stark difference between human beings or human life and rocks and molecules and chemicals and even animal life. Well, I like this answer. He, from very very logically he concluded this statement that human life is very special. Human life is very special because we can ask those questions. Rocks cannot ask. Even animals cannot ask. So I like this perspective very much. So Sir says, so therefore human life is very precious. In this life, if we do not give importance to the nature of absolute truth, then our existence will be no better than animals and even rocks, right? Rocks are also not thinking, not giving importance to nature of absolute truth or even relative truth. So why things are the way they are, what substance we are made up of, what will be our destination when we die? These are more important questions than the kind of questions we are being conditioned to ask. True humility awakens us and makes us bold to ask pertinent questions. Okay. So I can ask these questions, or I can ask another question which will be, oh, how do I repair this television? Or how do I repair this laptop? Or how do I install this software in the laptop? Right? So which questions are more fundamental? So these kind of questions are more fundamental, because the other questions, so you have to ask, why do I need a laptop, or why do I need this software? What will I do with this software? Right? What will I do with this television? Right? And just learning how to repair a television, you don't stop questioning. Means you don't become completely satisfied and say, oh yes, now I know how to repair a television. I don't need to know anything else. I'm completely satisfied in life. Means my quest is over, or I know I don't need to learn anything else now. Right? I will always feel lacking. Oh, maybe this is what I should learn more. Maybe this is what I should do. Okay. So that is the quest for perfection. And these are the questions which will actually give us satisfaction. What is my identity? So a person is known, the knowledge, so this kind of knowledge makes the personality. Right? So this kind of knowledge will be called wisdom, I think, more appropriately. Okay. What does the observation of, okay, now the question time. What does the observation of floating planets have to do with our quest for the absolute truth? Very deep question. Maybe you can write on the chat board. What does the observation of floating planets have to do with our quest for the absolute truth? Would like to answer? Just write anything. Means whatever you make, whatever you think is good. Do you have this document with you? Those who have registered for the course, they must be having this document. Others, I'm not sure. Yeah, but this was given to you when you did the IITK course. Nobody's answering. We are trying to understand the design of the solar system through this question in background. Okay. Yes. So this is a very nice perspective that whatever we do, my basic question remains, who am I? And how do I see myself in my work? Means whatever I am doing, if it does not help me understand myself better, then that work is useless. I think Sir told this statement once, that if something does not help me understand my identity better, then that work is not for humans. Because the floating planets also show an aspect of absolute knowledge. Yes, this is also a good perspective, that Vibhuti, Krishna's Vibhuti. Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita 10th chapter so many things where he says Nakshatranam aham shashi, and he also says Kama vishya cha bhutani dharayami aham ojasa, and he says, I don't remember the verse exactly, that he is keeping all the planets afloat in their orbits. Okay. So we appreciate Krishna's Vibhuti. We see Krishna in this Vibhuti, right? So nice perspective. Ajit Prabhu says, this type of inquiry can only be done by an inquisitive person. This marks the beginning of search for the absolute truth. Yeah, very good answer. So this answer is somewhere here. So such introspection about our identity in the gigantic solar system will naturally make us humble. In natural humility, we will start asking thought-provoking questions. Right? When we see really things like the solar system really huge, and I feel lost, and then I really start asking questions. Oh, who am I? We ask thought-provoking questions. Who am I? What is my role in this gigantic universe? So a very similar situation happens somewhere in our literature. Can you tell? This similar observation was made by one devotee, and he started thinking about these questions. So this devotee, when he Brahma Vimohan Leela, very good, yes. So when Brahmaji, there are many other answers also. Ajit Prabhu has given one answer, others can give other answers too. So Ajit Prabhu says that when Brahmaji went to meet Krishna in Dwarka, Lord Krishna in Dwarka, so there he requested the doorkeeper. Doorkeeper stopped him. Generally nobody will stop Brahmaji from going anywhere, but here the doorkeeper stopped Brahmaji. Brahmaji asked, oh, what is this? Nobody stopped me ever in my entire life. Who are these people? And then he asks Krishna, he asked the doorkeeper, please tell Krishna that Brahmaji has come to see you. Then the doorkeeper sends somebody to ask Krishna. The messenger goes and asks for permission of Krishna. Krishna says, ask him which Brahmaji is this. He comes back and asks Brahmaji, which Brahmaji are you? Which Brahmaji? And Brahmaji was really, now he felt how insignificant he is. I mean, is there something other than Brahmaji? Means, is there some other Brahma also? And then he told, okay, four-headed Brahma, who is father of Sanatan, Sanandan, Sanat Kumar. And then finally Krishna says, okay, please come. Krishna welcomes him. When he goes inside, he sees Krishna, and immediately he saw Krishna is being served by millions of other Brahmajis, and they are much bigger in size and number of heads than the four-headed Brahmaji. Somebody has got thousands of heads, hundreds of heads, like that. And so he really started understanding his identity in this way. So this is one. Another Brahma Vimohan Leela is when Lord Brahmaji is in Vrindavan, and he steals all the boys, cowherd boys and calves, and he comes back after a moment, as per his calculation, which is 1 year has passed on earth, means in Vrindavan 1 year has passed, and he sees all the boys and calves are still there and happily enjoying. And then Krishna shows him his original, means his, that how he has expanded into all those numerous forms. And then Brahmaji really got shock of his life. Oh, really? This is Krishna. He's really. I was thinking that he's just a small boy, but he's really Krishna. And then he became very humble, and he asked thought-provoking questions. Okay, I don't remember if Brahmaji asked any thought-provoking question there. He offers beautiful prayers in both the Brahma Vimohan Leelas, in both the cases. But I don't know if he started asking thought-provoking questions. Maybe he must have thought for himself these questions. Oh, who am I? And oh, really, I am servant of Krishna. But he didn't verbally ask these questions. At least I don't remember that he asked these questions to Krishna. Oh, Krishna, who am I? I don't remember that. Okay. Anybody else? There is one Leela of Brahmaji where he actually asks these questions. This Leela is when Brahmaji is just born and he sees the universe, it is all dark. He only sees one lotus flower and he sees a long stem. He goes into the stem and it's really very huge, and he goes down and up and down, and he's thoroughly confused seeing the gigantic universe around him, and he is totally confused, and in that natural humility he asks this question, oh, who am I, what is the purpose? And then Krishna tells him, do tapasya, and he does tapasya. Then Krishna gives him very thought-provoking answers. Okay, Yashoda Maiya's Brahmand Darshan. Yashoda Maiya doesn't ask any question. She's mesmerized by that beautiful darshan, but then she just thinks, oh, this was just a dream or something. She doesn't ask any questions. One very important, okay, I'll give a hint. This course is Bhagavad Gita course. I've given the biggest hint. This is Bhagavad Gita course. Arjuna, where? Means what does he see? Which makes him ask these questions, these kind of questions. What is my identity? What is the purpose of my existence? When does he see the gigantic solar system? Yes, in the universal form. When Krishna shows the universal form, and Dheeraj to hit the buzzer in the right time, and when he sees the universal form, he is really confused. Then now he says, oh Krishna, I think you are my friend and you are my cousin, but I see you are huge, you are the controller of the entire cosmic manifestation. Entire solar system, not just solar system, but universes after universes, they are just in your control. So then Arjuna is really now this vast view really makes him frightened, and then he really feels like identity crisis. He feels the crisis of his identity, that who am I? What is my role in this existence, in this universal existence? And then Krishna answers him the question that Nimitta Matra Bhava Sarve Sachin. There the verse comes that you become my instrument. Then Krishna helps him understand these answers. Okay. So, yes. So, okay. So this was another perspective on how this study of the universe can make us humble and make us naturally approach Krishna. Right? What other things? What does the observation of floating planets have to do with our quest of the absolute truth? Quest for the absolute truth. Another perspective is human life is very precious. As I gave example of Professor David Deutsch, he was able to appreciate this point when he saw that these planets and universes, they don't ask these kind of questions. Human beings can ask. So he thought, really, I should not just stay in my own pride that I know everything, or I'm a great professor in Oxford University, I am the father of quantum computing. I should come out of all these false designations which actually don't help me. But what actually will help me is to know what is my identity and what am I doing in this entire existence. And then, so that is the beginning of the quest for absolute truth. Okay, let's go to the next section quickly. Have I given a thought on some fundamental aspects of life? Okay. Everybody is a servant. So the point is, everybody is a servant. Parents serve their children. A leader serves his followers. Students serve teachers. Teachers serve students. Plants and animals they serve human society and vice versa. We take care of garden, we get flowers and fruits. We take care of paddy crops, we get rice and wheat. We take care of water bodies, we get fresh water. Nothing is free for us. We must serve to survive. Whoever is nicely serving, he is very happy. If we observe our mother, she serves us and we can see happiness on her face. As long as we are happy, she is also happy. So we are all servants. Service must be selfless to become happy. Okay. Now here Sir is telling some fundamental aspects of life. Basically, first he invoked the sense of humility or the sense of inquiry, that we should inquire about these fundamental questions. Now he is throwing light on some fundamental aspects of life which we will miss if we are not humble enough. That if I am very proud, I will say, I am running the world, I am running the show. These students are working because I am making them work. These institute is run because I am making the administration very nicely. So, Sir is bringing our attention to some fundamental aspects in my life. Oh, who am I? What is the purpose of my life? Oh, actually I am a servant. I never noticed it. I am a servant. Whatever role I am in, I'm always serving. If I'm a professor, I'm serving the students. I'm serving the institute. I'm serving the society. And if I'm a gardener, I'm serving the garden. Right? So, as soon as now I have come to this quest regarding my own existence, then these observations will help us to find the right direction to get the answer. Okay, I'm a servant. I cannot be happy. I'm never happy if I don't serve. Right? If I don't serve, if I just sleep all day, will I be happy? No, I will get backache. I won't be happy. And okay, I will do some exercise to mitigate my backache. Then I will be happy. No, I'll die of boredom. I'll be so bored in life, I will not be able to live. So I cannot be happy unless I serve somebody. That is why when we are in this lockdown situation, we should serve. If we want to be happy, we serve Krishna by chanting his names, by doing kirtan, by reading Bhagavad Gita, and we serve people around us, our parents, our siblings, our grandparents, whoever are there in our house with us. We serve them, and not just human beings. Maybe you can serve. There are so many other living creatures also. You can serve them too. Like you will have plants and trees and some insects and some animals. Okay. So the question is, what way does a blade of grass serve? So let us say, if I am born as a blade of grass, how will I serve anybody? Or how does a housefly serve? So many people may think actually housefly is the most useless creature we have ever seen, right? It just spoils everything, carries all the infections and all the diseases everywhere around. So housefly is the most useless creature. Why did God create houseflies? So, but they are also serving. How they are serving? Maybe they are serving better than me, but in what way? So let us give a thought to these questions. You can write in the chat board. I think the grass part is, I think, because we discussed about trees in the last discussion, so grass should be easy for you. Let us discuss about houseflies now. How does a housefly serve? I think once Sir gave this example, or somebody was visiting, maybe Vaishnav Maharaj. Maybe he gave this example. He said, um, uh, if you are able to see that a housefly is serving better than you, this means you are really humble, which means you are really honest. So this is how he put this. I don't remember whether it was Sir or Vaishnav Maharaj, but maybe he said that. So okay, tell, how does a housefly serve the society? Yes, so Dheeraj Prabhu is giving one very nice answer, pollination. How many of you know about pollination? Okay, so I will discuss the first point, pollination. Pollination actually, a few days ago there was a Google Doodle. Google Doodle, I think last week or sometime. I was just doing Google search and I saw some bees there, means on the Google Doodle. And that day was Earth Day. I don't know when was that, the day. And they were celebrating it for the bees. This year they celebrate the Earth Day for the bees, and in the Google Doodle they showed how bees they are serving the society. So they showed the bees are helping in pollination, the bees give us honey, and like that they were in a few important points. These two I remember distinctly. And in the pollination they made a video game showing how a bee actually helps the flowers to grow, means it spreads those pollen everywhere so that everywhere those flowers can grow. If the bees are not there, then there will be very little growth of flowers and vegetables, what we are getting, and crops. I don't know about crops, but at least the flowers and the vegetables which have flowers. So their growth will be much less, very, very less. And the bees, I think they gave some statistics also, maybe 50% of food is because of pollination. I don't remember the exact number, but some number they gave. Or maybe 80% of food is because of pollination. Okay. So yes, so that is about bees. I am not sure if housefly also does pollination. I'm not sure. I don't think so. Because generally they don't go to flowers, maybe. Okay, help in decomposing organic matter. This is very important point. If they don't decompose, then they will just cause so much of pollution everywhere, right? Every day we are creating so much of waste. When every day morning we create so much of waste, not just human beings but animals and worms, they create so much of waste, excreta. And if nobody decomposes them, the world will be just full of excreta. So that is why the housefly and other worms and other bacteria, they help to keep this world clean. Like if you have this excreta and if it decomposes, it just becomes it becomes invisible in the sense that it will mingle into the natural ingredients like soil or air or water. It will just mingle into natural products, and everything is now fresh again to reconsume. Right? So yes, houseflies, they help in decomposing organic matter. What else? What else does a housefly do? Okay. Okay. I think we will stop here. You take your time, think about it, and we can discuss in the next session. I'm not sure when will be the next session because tomorrow is Nursing Chaturdashi, and Sir will be giving. Sir, I think Sir will be back tomorrow. I'm not sure, and Sir will be giving class. You might know better because you might have received some message on Vaikuntha. Okay. So we can stop here for today. And nobody sent me any questions from the previous section. So please send questions if you like. In this section, there are hardly any questions. But you go through this section and if you can make some questions, if you send me, I will put them here. And then that can be a part of the booklet. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much. I request you to chant nicely and do some service nicely. And tomorrow is very auspicious day of Nursing Chaturdashi, appearance day of Lord Nursing Dev. So we will be hearing from Sir. And there is fasting until evening. Until evening, like 6 o'clock, 6:30, like that. Thank you. So fasting till evening. It's called fasting till dusk because Lord Nursing Dev killed Hiranyakashipu at the time of dusk, means when there was Sandhya, evening Sandhya. So we fast until evening Sandhya. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.